Hello, this is Daniel Dauphin with Dauphin Horsemanship. We're here today to talk about what are the real goals of groundwork. What is groundwork supposed to actually accomplish? Do you really need to be doing 20 minutes of groundwork every single day? I understand this, and that's what kept me out of this little wreck right here. So what would you be looking for to avoid this? How do you know if the majestic maned mare is with you today? Now, this is not going to be a how-to video. I'm not going to discuss how to change all of these. Just we're going to discuss what are the specific goals that you should have in mind when preparing to ride. I very commonly see people that are doing a whole bunch of groundwork before they ride, and I'm watching their horse and I'm thinking, they don't need to be doing this. Why are they wasting this time? And I see other people that definitely need to be doing some groundwork to get their horse's mind right, and they aren't. So what's the common denominator? Here's my logo. Look at the ears on there. A big clue. The very first thing that you need when you're doing groundwork to be prepared to ride is to have your horse's full and undivided attention. If you don't have that, come to a complete stop and get it. Now, this is a little clip from our Stallion Manners video, and this is a 3-year-old stallion that I'm walking through an arena full of loose horses, most of which are mares. And watch his attention. It comes to me, it leaves me. I definitely do not have this horse's full and undivided attention. Now, he is being reasonably well-mannered, but I wouldn't climb on him right now because I don't have his attention. And this is to remind us that what I'm discussing does not just pertain to groundwork. This is horsemanship. So if you get all of these boxes ticked, you should still have them ticked when you ride, and that's kind of another problem that I see. People don't hold their horse to the same standard when they ride that they do when they're doing their groundwork, and you absolutely need to. All right, now this filly, this is another day with her. You can see that I have her attention. If you watch her ears, she's absolutely locked on me, but does she look like she's ready to climb on to you? No. So there's more to the picture than just getting their attention. I kind of, 50,000 foot view, I boiled it down to 3 different things. Attention is one of them. Now right here, the same filly, and every clip you're seeing of this filly is within the first week of her riding, so she's as green as can be right here. In fact, the day that she bucked and blew up, that was her 5th day of riding ever. So right here, I'm testing to see if I have her attention. I have it right there, but do I maintain it? Does she follow me like she should? Nope, she leaves me right there. And so there's a penalty to be paid for not keeping your attention on me. And does that work? You paid the penalty. Yep, we got you refocused. So also, these things are designed to not be done in a bubble. You need to be doing these things so that you have your horse's attention even when, even if, even though. You see the mule on the back side of the arena right there? I'm testing this filly when there's another horse. See, she leaves me. Do I get her back? I get her back. But I need to have my horse's attention in a worst case scenario, not a best case scenario. Secondly, I need to test my horse's responses to pressure. Is he over or under reactive today? Now, this is more complicated than desensitizing. You see that horse left me right there? So I changed sides. I even switched to the right. I'm leading him from quote unquote the wrong side. He bumps me. Woo, he kind of reacted to that. And so, again, would this be a great time to climb up on him? Well, maybe not. Might get a story to tell when it's all said and done if you deal with a horse that's in an overreactive state of mind. Now, I just make a circle and clip that out. We get back to the same point, and boom, we kind of have the same little problem again. And this horse I had been fooling with for about 2 weeks at this point, just so that you understand again. I'm showing you all green horses in these clips. Here again we have our filly, and this comes from the same clip I showed you with the attention. So this is what it is. Her attention's on me, but is she reacting properly to me? Nope, that was a bit of an overreaction. I didn't send her quite that hard. So I need to keep testing those waters until she kind of gets, finds the middle of the road. She's not over or under reactive. So what most people are going to think of when I'm talking about that is this simple desensitizing. Things like your carrot stick and all of that you hold so dear. And really, I think of it much more in terms of putting pressure on a horse. And in fact, desensitizing a horse when he's standing still isn't a lot of pressure. And there are a lot of different ways that we can put pressure on a horse. I don't want to just deal with him when he's standing still, because he's going to be way more likely to buck if something's when he's trotting with you. And I don't want to do the same few things over and over. So here I'm putting pressure on her by trying to lead her by her feet. Here that pressure is even more. We're leading her backwards by a hind foot. Is she going to figure that out? And is she going to learn and think and get out of a reactive state of mind, get in a thinking state of mind, and figure out how to get herself out of this bind and find the release of pressure? That's what I need. I need that horse to transition from a reactive state of mind to a thinking state of mind. Okay? And that is about pressure. It's not about desensitizing. Sensitizing is as big a part of that picture as desensitizing is. They can be too reactive. They can be under reactive. Neither is good. They need to find the middle and kind of have that Goldilocks response rate. Now this will keep your horse out of barbed wire and stuff, or vines and ropes. Really good thing to do with your horse. And if you're looking for new things to do to challenge yourself in groundwork, I would highly suggest leading by the hind feet. I have had a couple horses that got themselves in a bind where they could have gotten hurt, but they relaxed and they allowed me to get them out instead. Now, this is certainly going to be putting some pressure. I'm lunging her off of another horse, so I've got a flag working. I'm above her, but this certainly doesn't fit that mold either of typical desensitizing. And this is going pretty slow. I think I'm just testing the waters with her here, ever escalating, but testing methodically. So here, yeah, I'm going to back off of her and see if I can draw her into me, which she does pretty well. Now I'm going to cram on her pretty hard right here. You can see I'm going to run right up on her. Is she going to kick at me? Is she going to buck? I actually bumped her with my foot in the flank, and she was a little underreactive there, but she didn't blow up. She didn't lose her mind. Now I ride with chinks and shaps a lot, and I use those as desensitizing tools too. I'll say this. I would way rather use 50 different props to desensitize my horse and show him something new and show him those 50 things twice than have 2 different props and show them those 2 things 50 times. Okay, the whole point is to get them to have a good relationship with new and scary things. It isn't to get them unafraid of 2 specific props that you overpaid for because they had insert an expensive clinician's name here. So be creative with the things that you use to test your horse's responses. You can do a whole lot of stuff with a couple of things like some chinks and a flag and a blue tarp and all of that. You can really get a lot done. And those things are often a lot more practical than some of the things we tend to overdo to the point that they're pointless. So how's he going to handle those things tickling his flanks? This tarp is big and visual, but it is also noisy. When they stop being noisy, when they break in, they're useless. Get another one. You want it noisy. You want him to step on something loud. And how does he handle that? See, this one handled it just fine. Okay, now here I'm taking that flag that he's seen 100 times, and we can stand behind him and use it, beside him and use it. Now I'm going to take a rubber band and I'm going to attach it to the saddle horn, and it's going to hang out in his flank area, like the worst place it could be. How's he going to handle that? What if something got hung on my foot while I was riding and it kind of hung around in that flank area right there and it came with us? It started chasing him. Oh my goodness. Check that out. Do it before you ride. Have a lot of different little things. So I guess my point here is to be ever mindful of the big picture And don't get caught up so much in the little details of what prop you're using and so forth. Hold your horse to a standard. He should still turn into me even with that scary thing, right? Even though all of that stuff. That's the point. And now at a high rate of speed, is he as calm and relaxed and accepting of this thing when he's going faster as he was when he was at a walk? So again, not intending to be a how-to video, but I kept this part kind of long because I thought this was giving y'all a good number of different little things that you might want to try and play with at home. And there he turns into me and see, submissive head, his mind's in the right spot, even with. So I could ride that horse and everything would be fine. Nice attention. So that's 2 of the 3 things. Oh, and here we're going another thing. Rope under the tail. There is a go button under that tail. How will your horse handle it if a vine or something got under there when you're trail riding? If you're going to rope off of a horse, then you darn sure better be doing this before you're going to be handling ropes up there on his back. Most of them, when you put the rope under there, they look like an NFR bareback horse. I mean, they're going to be kicking straight up and down. I don't think this is the first time that I did this to this horse, but he really was one of the very few that don't react. Most 95 out of 100 horses are going to seriously buck when you get a rope under there. So do that so it doesn't happen when you're on them. Now, what about dragging something scary behind you? Can you keep your mind on me and your attention on me even though that's going on? What if I suck it up into the saddle like a ghost climbing up on you? Can you handle that pressure and still stay with me? Keep that attention on me. I guess you can. All right, I'll shut up and just let y'all watch for a little bit. This is really going to be a nice horse. I like him a whole bunch. We were shooting videos with him. I think I've only got 1 or 2 rides on him. And he tore a big chunk of his hind hoof off. And so I haven't ridden him since. I think he's about getting sound again, but I actually had to put back shoes on him and all, just trying to get him back sound. I mean, a big chunk of a hind hoof. That's probably going to be a scar he'll have for the rest of his life. No idea how he did it. All right. And the third thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to test or further my control of the horse's feet. And this is part of the how you're going to do all these things. So like this filly is dragging. She's not coming right up there with me. So she's not yielding her feet to me as readily as she might. So we have an overreactive horse. We have an underreactive horse. Right here, we're kind of sending her around, and can I stop her and turn her and yield that shoulder and yield that hind quarter? Is he going to come right up here to me and stay straight, or is he going to try to put me on his left side or his right side? So this is getting more into the details of it. Will he yield that shoulder? Believe it or not, with most horses, once I'm beyond that first week or so, catching them in the paddock or the pasture, I'm paying attention to their body language. How did they allow me to catch them? Did they move off of me? Did they stand willingly? Did they come to me? And one of the best things that you can do to test your horse out is just lead them through a gate. So when you take them out of the pasture or the paddock and you're leading them up to where you're going to saddle them, really pay attention to how they go through that gate. That's generally where I decide whether I need to do some groundwork with this horse today or not. And I kind of like to save a lot of groundwork. Further down the road, maybe things will get a little stale. Maybe I'm going to be looking to make a change to maybe break a bad pattern that showed up or something. And so because I didn't do tons and tons and tons and tons of groundwork every single day and really get my horse soured on it in the beginning, I can come back to it and really use it as an effective tool later on. Again, the way I see most people using groundwork, they don't use it in an effective way. They really are wasting their time. And I even see a lot of people that seem to be kind of scared of riding their horse, but they feel like they have the advantage on the ground. And so they wind up way overdoing some of this stuff in order to avoid getting outside of their own comfort zone. They use it like a crutch. And I see that commonly. And I'm not a fan of that at all. Do as much as you need, but let's go ride. Let's get to the point of all of this stuff and get you out of your comfort zone there. Now, this is this was actually his first day of ever doing groundwork. I don't think I rode him this day, but he is just about as biddable and soft as he could be, especially for a first day right here. So that's what you're looking for. And then other little things you can do on furthering control of the feet. Ropes around behind their hind legs tests their reactiveness. It's also going to ask him to turn in a way that I'm normally not asking him to turn. So are you yielding your feet even if? Okay, well, that's a few tips for you. Check out DauphinHorsemanship.com. Like and subscribe. Thank you much. Hope that helps.